Hey guys, Chris here from ASM Scholarships and the ASM Sports Group. Today I'm going to help explain to you what goes into a sports scholarship and how you can lower your cost of tuition and give you an idea about all the fees that are going to go into this process for you, because that's what it comes down to, is how much money you can save. So let's start off with the average cost of university here in America, which at the moment the average is $40,000, wait for it, per year. So that means if you do 4 years, you're looking at $160,000 for your whole 4-year education. Now that's really expensive, and I don't know many people that can afford that. So what most people do is student loans, which obviously means you're gonna have that debt at the end of the 4 years. But if you're an athlete, which you probably are if you're watching this, you're in lucky hands, because you can actually save all of this cost with a sports scholarship. Now, most sports scholarships range from 70 to 100%. 100% is known as a full ride sports scholarship. So if you've heard of that saying, full ride, that means all of this cost will cost you $0. And we're going to explain what actually goes into these fees shortly. If you're on a partial scholarship, you're probably looking anywhere from 50 to about 80%. The average is around 70%. You would have to absorb of that cost. And we'll explain to you how you can actually change those costs for what you're actually going to pay for. So that's what we're going to explain today, what actually goes into this. Now, the most expensive school, Brendan, what's the most expensive school in the US right now?
Most expensive is Sarah Lawrence College, and they're at $61,000 per year.
$61,000. And that's similar for UCLA, Harvard, Yale, these big Division I schools. You're looking more 50, 60 range for your bachelor program per year, which means this is going to go well over $200,000. So this is why sports scholarships are so awesome for athletes. You've got to use your sport talent to get these deals, and that's where we can help you actually get those scholarships as well. So let's go into how this is broken down. So the first thing that goes into it is your tuition. Oh, let me get tuition. So the first thing is your tuition cost. You're going to have 2 semesters, right? So your 2 semesters, you're looking at roughly $14,000. And we took this number, what, from Nova?
Yep.
From Nova Southeastern, so you can actually check this out as well online. So they're $14,000 per term, so you're going to do that by 2 equals $28K, right? That's just basically for your tuition costs. That's basically for your education, going to classes, getting the professor lessons. You have to do that because you need to come to university. The next cost that you're going to have is room and board. Room plus board. And that basically, how much was that one?
10K.
10K. So 5K per semester. So 5K times 2, looking at 10,000. So that puts you up to 38,000. And that basically means where you're going to live, where you're going to eat, everything on campus. It doesn't include if you want to go to Starbucks, McDonald's, or anywhere like that. If you want to go buy clothes, it's just literally for your accommodation and your food on campus. Then you have your admin fees. I love this one. The schools always want to make their money. You're looking at about $500 for admin fees. And Brandon, how was that broken down? That was about a $50 application fee.
$50 application fee. You have laboratory fees, some.
Yeah, just ongoing fees like $30 or something.
$30,
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes to about $500, and then you have your books. Okay, you need your books, otherwise you're not going to be able to pass the courses, and that's about $1,500. So these are your per year broken down costs for university. So obviously it gets quite expensive, but if you get a full ride, this is great, it's all covered. But what if you have a partial scholarship, right? A lot of our clients and everyone from around the world won't get a full ride straight away. You're going to get a partial year 1 most likely. And you're going to probably pay about 10K on average for a $40,000 school. So let's say you've got a partial scholarship and they say you've got to pay $10,000 for the bill for the first year. And then if you play well, get good grades, you get a full ride year 2, which is quite common. Where will that go? What the coach will normally do is they won't give you any money for the books, right? Because what they know is that you can get past books from other students. And most sports programs will have a mini library from all the other students that have been there and left, and they donate the books. So this you probably won't have to absorb. So even if you have to pay the 10K, they won't put it in any of this. You're going to have to pay this one. They won't give you any scholarship money here. But what they're most likely going to do is take it off your tuition. So that 30,000, they're going to probably do 28K of this all on that. And then what they're going to do, the rest of it's going to go on your room and board. So here's where you can save the money. You can elect on the room board, maybe not to get the food on campus and go off campus and get the food, which means you won't have to pay the 10K. But you're gonna have to do the math in terms of, is it cheaper just to pay it, or say I don't want to have the room and board included and go eat off campus. The other thing you can do is say, I don't want to live on campus, right? You might want to live off campus with other athletes and accommodation, and you can share the costs and get that down. But again, it might be cheaper to be on campus depending where you are. If you're in New York, it's going to probably be cheaper to do that versus if you're, say, in Florida, where it's probably cheaper to live off campus. Some university programs will require you year one to live on campus, so you won't be able to do that. So you can absorb costs, so you can make this cheaper for yourself. So maybe that 10K can come down because you don't have to pay for the books, but you're definitely going to have to absorb some of this cost on a partial scholarship. How are you going to get to the full ride year two is going to be down to two things. One, if you make the team. So you want to make sure you go to a program where you're going to be able to make the team and compete, because you become more valuable to the coach. And that way he wants you on the team, he's going to increase your scholarship. Our clients who are ASM, we're actually going to help with that as well and speak to the coaches and make sure you're doing the right things to get the full ride year two. And secondly, your academics. If you get over a 3.3 GPA, you're going to start hitting in academic money. Because we'll have videos later on. If you subscribe, there'll be more videos to come. But we have videos about how the scholarships actually comes from either the sport or the academics. So bear that in mind. So that's what you're going to be looking at now. What other costs will you have versus this? Even on a full ride scholarship, you're going to have other costs to consume. And this is why I want you to know these, so you know what's going to happen. Now, if you're a really good athlete, the coach might give you a thing called a stipend. Most stipends, they go from, say, $3,000 to about $6,000, what we see on average. What that is, they're going to give you additional money to cover these next costs, right? So that's mainly for flights, for your insurances, and we'll go into these now. But every athlete prior to university is going to have to pay for an SAT. You're going to have to do the NCAA clearinghouse. Let's put clearinghouse. You're going to have to do, if you're from overseas, a visa. You're going to have your flights. You're going to have insurance. Have I missed anything, Brendan? I think that's it, right? Oh, TOEFL if you're not English. If you don't speak English, you can have to do TOEFL exam. Yep, got everything there. So your SAT is going to fluctuate. If you're American, it's about $50. If you're international, you're looking up to $125. If you're doing the clearinghouse, I think at US it's only $75. Overseas is $125. Actually, no, it's $95. It's $95. Some countries it's $125 though. Flights, depending where you're from, you're going to vary from $200 in the US to about $1,000 overseas. Visa does fluctuate from country to country, but the average is $400. If you're American, you don't need a visa. Insurance, you're looking at about $500 a year on average for the basic plan. And then your TOEFL, if you're international, is about $195. So if you're American, you don't need this, because you probably have a family plan, you don't need that, but you do need the other stuff. So if you're American, you need to pay this, and probably this is what you're looking at there. So these are costs that you're going to have to do pre-college, and if you have the stipend, you're going to probably use that to actually absorb some of that cost. So you've got to think about, when you're planning this journey, the costs coming forward, because you can actually then manage these costs, right? If you're on a partial scholarship and you know you're going to have to pay that, say, $10,000, you actually don't have to pay it all at once, but you will have to pay this prior, so you can manage that. And this you only have to pay 5 and 5. You have to pay the first 5 before starting college, that'd be around August, and the second 5 around February for the second semester. Now, what you can do, big tip here, to kind of lower this down is get a campus job. If you're from overseas like me, I worked on campus, you can make anywhere from $8 to $12 an hour. You can work in the gym, you can work in the library, you can work as an RA. That's going to help you make that money back. So effectively, if you do, say, 20 hours in a month, it's going to calculate, let's do 20 hours times $8, and then you're going to do that for about 7 months of the year. We'll get you the number there. And that's going to give you some money towards campus. What is that, 160? That's a
20
month?
times 8.
So?
20 times 8.
20 times 8, okay. So that's 20 times 8.
20 hours a week.
20 hours a week.
160 a week.
160 a week. So times that by a month, and then times that by Yeah, it's 640. So you can make 7,000. What was that? 7,000
a year.
680. Was that right? 680.
Yep.
So you can make that if you work 20 hours a week for $8 an hour, make 160 a week. You can make $7,680. So that's already leaving you about what, two?
Well, if you're RA, you get the room and board.
Yeah, if you're the RA, you actually get the room and board for free, so that can go extra pocket in your money. But it only leaves you a couple $1,000s plus to pay for your bill. But what you will have to do is pay the first 5K prior to starting, and then you can take the job, and then the second 5K, you absorb it, you make $2,680 profit in your pocket. So that's what a lot of students do. Now, if you're American, you can actually work off campus as well, and you can get other jobs. But it's always easier to get the jobs on campus because they like to help their athletes. So definitely bear that in mind. So I hope this video is really useful. I hope that explains some of the costs of university. Again, sports scholarship is the way to go. It's going to make this free. At ASM, all we do is find you these sports scholarships and connect you with the coaches. Questions, comments, please leave them below here on the YouTube video. We'd love to help you out. And also for other future videos, leave any messages you want to know about topics. We'd love to help you guys out and get that information out there. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe for plenty more videos to come. You've been watching Chris Vidal here at ASM Scholarships. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.